The big reaction. What happens when the stress response turns on? A flood of physiological activity in the body automatically and precisely launches anytime we have the original thought of, uh-oh, I'm in danger. This is very bad. This automatic response works on its own to generate great power and speed so that you become more able to run from or fight the big bear. Some of these immediate physiological changes include increased heart rate, increased breathing rate, increased metabolism to produce more energy for the muscles, increased oxygen consumption, increased oxygen to the brain, increased blood pressure, increased blood sugar, increased secretion of the hormones adrenaline and cortisol into the bloodstream and to every cell in the body, increased muscle contraction, especially the running and fighting muscles, increased blood clotting ability, blood thins, pupils dilate, body hair stands on end, increased beta brainwave activity, heightened sensory awareness. What is the single purpose of all of these immediate physiological reactions? The only reason for these reactions to the uh-oh thought is to make us very fast and very powerful right now, so we can avoid being eaten by the big bear. Quite a few processes in the body stop working normally when the fight or flight response is activated. Here are a few notable ones. The immune system slows down. The reproductive system stops working normally. Some blood vessels constrict, partially obstructing normal blood flow to certain areas of the body, such as the extremities and some organs. The digestive system stops processing food in its normal way. Decreased perception of physical pain. Higher order thinking turns off. The excretory system turns off. The endocrine system modifies its normal functioning. It makes all these changes because the body knows where the most energy is needed to achieve maximum power and speed. And it does what is necessary to recruit what is needed from various body systems to achieve this. Reflective questions. Have you ever stopped to think about all the changes that immediately occur whenever you think thoughts of danger or emergency? How often does this happen? How the fight or flight response saved my life. Once, when I was about 14 years old, I was camping with some Boy Scouts at a place in central Utah called Topaz Mountain. On one of those days, we were rolling boulders down a long and steep cliff. We loved pushing the boulders, watching them gather speed and momentum, bust and smash as they rolled down the mountainside, and finally explode like giant fireworks at the bottom of the cliff. At one point, I jumped on a rock that was about double my size and enormously heavy. It was perched precariously on the edge of the cliff wall, but it seemed secure and a safe place to stand. Suddenly, I noticed this massive rock loosening from the ground it sat on. The bottom of the cliff was 100 feet down, and this rock was suddenly headed in that direction. I knew I would be dead if I went down with this boulder. Something inside of me screamed, "Jump!" In an instant, I leaped higher than I ever had as the boulder freed itself and began rolling down below me. Off it tumbled over the cliff as I came down on the piece of ground where the boulder was just a fraction of a second before. I watched it bust and smash on the way to its explosive end. Had I not jumped as high as I did off that rock, in that split second, I wouldn't be here today. The power and speed of my fight or flight response saved my life that day. So now we know what happens when the stress response turns on. In the next video, you'll see what happens when the stress response stays on. See you then.